Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. This is your guy, DeMarcus Tunsil. I'm here for the Beta Project, and you can always find us on YouTube at Humble and Focus. And today is October 17th, and today's title is "You Can't Do Both." You can't do both. And so today's quote is, "The victim mentality sees itself as helpless, controlled by outside forces, and the victim mentality navigates life through the power of internal choices." So let me bring myself on. Let's talk. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well for sure. It's a great day to be alive. Great day to start the day. Start off with some blessings. Count your blessings. If you're having a bad day, start off with you got enough gas to get to work. Your foot doesn't hurt. You got food to eat. Things of that nature. Start off with all those good things. And then you'll create yourself a much better mentality going throughout the day. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So we're talking about you can't do both. So here's what I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do a little special test. I want you to breathe in. Now breathe out. Now breathe in. Now breathe out. All right, here we go. Here's your test. I want you to breathe in and breathe out at the exact same time. Ready? Go. You can't do it, can you? I've been trying to do it all week. Can't do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can't do both. You can't breathe in and breathe out at the exact same time. You can't hold your breath and breathe at the exact same time. There's a whole aspect of give and take, and when you're doing one, you cannot do the other. So that leads us into today's quote. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to this, because we're going to talk about victim mentality versus victor mentality. You can't be in victim mentality where you blame the world for your problems and also be a victor where you're achieving and striving over these problems. You can either be one or the other. You can exhale or inhale. Those are your only choices in this matter. So let me bring this back. So it says the victim mentality sees itself. So the victim mentality is an internal thing, right? It sees itself as helpless, which means it cannot do anything. It cannot do anything to help itself. The only thing that controls a victim mentality is the outside forces, meaning that everything around it is the problem, the blame, not the person itself. Has to be everybody. That girl didn't do me right. That boy didn't do me right. That husband didn't do me right. My job sucks. This, that, and the, woe is me. The economy. Oh, woe is me. That's the victim mentality. You see it more when you realize sometimes it's hidden in somebody complaining, somebody gossiping, all these different things. A victim mentality is hidden. But the victim mentality, it actually, instead of seeing itself, it actually navigates. It goes into action through the power of internal choices. So it makes choices that will get itself to the next level. What does that mean to you? That means that you have a choice. You can blame everybody else for what's going on in your life, or you can step up and start making choices to change what's going on in your situation. Most people, ladies and gentlemen, don't want to step up because that means they have to take stock in who they are. So if you're taking stock in who you are right now, that means you're going to have to look at yourself and realize maybe your life or yourself isn't perfect. It's not an easy thing to do to take stock in yourself. It's not an easy thing to do to say that maybe I'm wrong in the choices that I have. But think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Every choice you have has created the life that you have right now. I'm doing a video in front of you. On my wall, to my right, I have a tiger poster I got from China. In the middle here, I got a blessed poster. To my left over there, or I guess it depends on how your video is, but to my left, there's a mirror. So all those were choices of things that I put into this room. Those are all my choices. Now some of you guys say, oh, his room's so messy, his room's this or that. But those are choices that got me to the place where this room looks the way it does. Well, your life is the exact same way. Your life is like your room. You put into it or take out of it what you want or don't want. So if you put into it a bed and complain about your bed, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You have two choices. You could change your bed that you don't like, or you could just sit there and look at it and talk about how bad it is. Most people are doing the latter. They're going to talk about, hey, everything sucks and it's not my fault. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Unfortunately, it is your fault. The life you created, the body you have, the life you're living, the situation that you're having, the money you're having, the way your kids act, the way you act, the way your spouse acts, it's all tied to you. What you allow in your life will continue. So we're going to go to, this is the last time we'll be going to this book. It's As a Man Thinketh here. And this is one of the last chapters here. And he says, here we're talking about thought and achievement, the thought factor and achievement. It says, his suffering and happiness are evolved from within. As he thinks, so he is. And as he continues to think, so he remains. So ladies and gentlemen, what this is saying to me personally is saying that your life is what you think. And as you continue to think those same thoughts, your life will continue to stay. As he thinks, so he is. As he continues, so he remains. Okay? And then the other part I wanted to read to you about this chapter is, this part is really big too. It says, a man can only rise, conquer, and achieve by lifting up his thoughts. He can only remain weak and abject and miserable by refusing to lift up his thoughts. Let me read that to you again. A man can only rise, conquer, and achieve by lifting up his thoughts, changing his mindset, meaning that he chooses not to be a victim, but he chooses to be a victor. A man can only rise, conquer, and achieve by choosing his thoughts to be a victor. I'm adding some stuff in here. He can only remain weak and abject and miserable by refusing to lift up his thoughts and remaining a victim. You always have a choice, ladies and gentlemen. You get the chance to choose what you want to be. But I can tell you right now, if you choose to be a victor, you're going to have a change in your life, and your life will go to another level. But if you choose to be a victim, and it's everybody's fault but yours, like I gave you the examples before. If you choose that, then you will never, ever, ever grow. And not only will you not grow, there will be nothing for you at the end except for sadness and pain and that thought that you have no choice, or you have no inspiration, and you can't find the answer, and that woe is me. Woe is me is a huge, huge deal when it comes to thinking about the victim mentality. Why? Because that's what you think. You think that I'm perfect and that everything else around me must change but me. But it's not that way, ladies and gentlemen. The problem is that you need to change, and by changing you change your environment. You will not eat the same things if you're on a strict diet. Let's say you have diabetes for some reason. You will not eat the same things on diet that you want. If you want to get rid of diabetes or feel better, you won't eat the same things, which means that your environment has to change. But it takes here, you have to think, hey, I don't want to have diabetes anymore, or I want to help myself to live a longer life, so I have to change my mentality on how I eat. Well, guess what? By doing that, you change your whole life. Your refrigerator changes, your cupboards change, what you eat outside of here changes, which means that your restaurants change, which means that your friends could change. Everything changes by a thought, ladies and gentlemen. It's all a process and thought. And so let me look in here and see if there's anything else. No, we're not gonna talk about that today. Nope. Perfect. Okay, so that's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. I got a couple more slides here. But like I said, it's as simple as choosing victim or victor. You can't choose both. You can't be a champion and a loser at the same time. You can't choose to win and choose to lose simultaneously. You get to pick one. All right, so let's go to the next one here. Nope, not that one yet. This one. Every test in our life makes us bitter or better. Okay, every problem comes to break us or make us. The choice is whether you become a victim or a victor. Every test in life comes, ladies and gentlemen, to make us bitter or better. You get a chance to choose right there. What does that mean? That means that you get the chance to choose to react. You can make yourself bitter because she left you. You can make yourself bitter because your kids aren't acting right. You can make yourself bitter because you can't control your job. Or you can make yourself better by saying, hey, this is not what I accept in my life anymore, and I won't let her treat me this way anymore. Or this is what I accept in my life. I won't let my job be that way. Or my kids aren't acting right, so this is what I need to do to make sure that I get them something different. But blaming the children for who they are without you doing and stepping up and doing anything, that's not fair. But being bitter about it is even worse. And every problem comes to break us or make us. So you get a chance. That same situation can make you great, or can make you not as great. We'll say it that way. You get a chance to choose what you want your situation to create for you. You get to be broken, or you get to be uplifted. It's all in the mentality. We choose what we get to get for the end, for this final solution, ladies and gentlemen, because it's the same situation. Why does the same situation hit two different people in the same exact way, but they choose to be different? It's the inside and what they believe about themselves, what they believe about what they can do, that creates the difference. And the choice is yours. It is. It's a choice. It's all a choice. And whether you become a victim or a victor, you get to choose. Up to you. And the last quote here, it's pretty cool. I like this little thingy over in the corner. Hold on. In that corner. There we go. It says, what are you something? I can't even read that. Let's see what it says. What are you? Oh well. So that's a great quote. We're going to read that here in a second. I'm sure I can pull up the little version, but I don't think I can. But literally, it just talks about what the victor does. The victor takes responsibility for their life. Whether someone else does something that pisses you off, or whether you do something that pisses you off, or whether the world around you is not working well, you take responsibility for what you can do about it. It doesn't matter about the outside. I can't control what other people are doing in their homes. I can only control what I do in my home. You must acknowledge your faults, and you must acknowledge your downfalls and take advantage of that. You get choice. The choice creates power, but this all creates freedom because you know you're in charge of every single thing you got. Or you got the victim mentality, where you just blame Donald Trump for everything that happens to everybody. Or you blame your neighbors for not doing this, that, and the other. Or you blame your coworker for not doing this. Have you ever let a coworker steal your joy in a day? I had somebody I was talking to about that the other day. Their coworker did something that they didn't like, and because they expected more, they decided that they were going to have a bad day. I was like, why'd you let them steal your joy? They're just being who they are. You can't control them. You get the choice to allow yourself to let it affect you or not. Or you could deny it's happening. Like a lot of people, and I'm not going to lie to you, I mean, I taught kids for a while. A lot of people don't take responsibility that their kids may not be who they think they are. Their kids might be acting a fool, running out here acting them up, but they deny that their kids are not acting right. And so they don't do anything about it. They assume that it's everybody else's fault instead of their own. What can you do to control that? What can you do to control your job? Or the last thing of a victim mentality is you just get up and quit. You just stop. Ladies and gentlemen, you have options. They're right there in front of you. Which one will you choose? And that's all I want you to think about is which one will you choose? Will you continue to be a victim in your life? Or will you realize that all you have to do to be a victor instead of a victim is take responsibility, make different choices, and you get the power back in your hands. No one can take it away from you unless you give it. Like I talk about it all the time. If I take Motorola and I pull it on my skin, it's no big deal. But if I put it in my mouth even, it's not as big of a deal. It's a bigger deal, but not as big a deal. But it isn't until I ingest it, I take it inside of my body, that it starts to become a problem. Same thing with bleach. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about this. I have to ingest it for it to harm me as much as it would, instead of me just pouring it on my skin. So choose your situations and what you're going to allow to come in you very wisely. And I want you to be a victor today. I want you to be a victor for the rest of your life. Make victor decisions. Take responsibility for your actions. It's nobody's fault but your own. And if it is not your fault, that's okay. What can you do about the situation in your particular situation? And that's all I have. I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. No more victim mentality. We ain't got that. It's almost 2020. Take responsibility for who you are. You're a grown up. You're over 10. So you're a grown-up, so you got to take responsibility for who you are. And until you do that, you will always play the victim role. It isn't until you realize, wait a second, I have control over this, I can do something about this, that nothing will ever change. Be a victor. Be responsible. Be powerful, because it's all yours. It's up to you to make that choice. And that's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a blessed day. Happy Thursday, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow. We'll find out. The smell hurts.